Om Sahana Bhavatu.
Om Sahana Bhavatu.
Sahano Bhunaktu.
Sahano Bhunaktu.
Sahaviryam Karavavahai.
Sahaviryam Karavavahai.
Tejasvinavadhitamastu.
Tejasvinavadhitamastu.
Ma vidvishavahai.
Ma vidvishavahai.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
So we will just chant the 1.20, that is Nachiketa's question, and go over to where we left. 1.20. कल जो नचिकेता का जो प्रश्न था, आप जिनका अपना किताब है ना वो पास में लिख लेना अच्छा है. जस्ट पुट नचिकेता N:, that you will remember that this is Nachiketa, this is Yamaraja, this is Vajashravas. Like that you will understand easily. Of course, in English it is written still. Yeyam prete vichikitsa manushye. Asti ityeke nayamasti iti chaike. Etad vidyam anushishtastvayaham. Varanamesha varastritiyah. Once more. Yeyam prete vichikitsa manushye. Asti ityeke nayamasti iti chaike. Etad vidyam anushishtastvayaham. Varanamesha varastritiyah. Now, after this question is very important because it is very common with everybody, that what happens when the body falls. Because of that, the religious model is there about punarjanma, because this is, people want continuity, that what will happen when the body falls, or people who have already died, are they still there? They are still seeing us? Are they communicating with us? These are very much prevailing questions in all over the world, so to say, in other religions also. So generally the religious codes, the religious models, they are meant for all, aam aadmi, for everybody. Because such abstract truth, it's extremely difficult for people to understand. Even if when it is explained, it is difficult to understand and accept also. As long as desire for the objects is very strong, nobody would like to accept the truth also. So religious codes have been formed on the basis of to keep the society bridle and for general welfare of the people, which will satisfy them, which will put them into good work. These are the reasons for which religious codes are there. So our religion is based on 4 pillars like this. They are not separate pillars, they are all interrelated. The whole model can stand with all the 4 pillars. What are they? First is the concept of God. That there is the picture of the God can be anything. It can be a superhuman, it can be a super intelligence, it can be a Brahma, creator, whatever. There is a concept of God who is controlling everything, the controller God. Then the concept of punarjanma, that is, the life is not ending here. Acha, punarjanma we will come later. Concept of God, then the concept of heaven and hell. Second is concept of heaven and hell. Now heaven and hell means there is continuity of life which is not seen. Why we are calling heaven and hell? Because they are not visible, they cannot be proved. They neither can be proved nor can be disproved also. Nobody has said that you come here, this is I am in heaven, this is heaven. It's not there. Nobody can say. Similarly, nobody can disprove also, saying that no, heaven is not there. You cannot. So heaven and hell, these models stand on that very basis, that neither it can be proved nor it can be disproved. So, to have the continuity of life, that when the body has fallen here, the Atma goes somewhere, either here or there. And what will determine where the Atma goes? So they have brought in the theory of the karma theory. Now karma theory, it is also like all other, this is also misused by people. Karma theory in English, it is nothing but causality. That means whatever is happening, there is a cause behind that. Now the causality we see is the gross causality. We can easily determine that my parents are the cause for me, his parents were the cause for him, like that. Their parents, the grandparents were the cause for them. That we can determine. Similarly, I have worked hard and got some riches, I have become a rich person. These are all gross causality we find. I have studied well, so I did well in the exam. These are all gross causality, which nobody has to tell us, we can easily see. But there are various subtle causality which we are not able to easily understand and see. For them, this karma becomes important. Suppose I have patted my son too much in his childhood. I have spoiled him by giving too much indulgence. Now the son has become bad. We always say that we forget the past of it. That I am responsible for spoiling the child, that part we forget. And we say that we start blaming the son, saying that where from this has come, I don't know. We have been so good, all of us had been so disciplined, why the son has become like this? So we start blaming the son. Actually there is a causality there. My own behavior in bringing up the son is the reason for his being naughty now, being bad now. When we are giving, the other day I was giving the example of a family, that when we are giving excessive money, inheritance to the son, it is forbidden in our country, it should not be given. The money should be given away for the social welfare. You should not spoil your son by giving so much of money that he gets spoiled by that. But we do it because of our sakti, because of our blind, so-called blind affection or our delusion. We do it. And when the son gets spoiled, then we are blaming our karma. See, blaming our karma, we say it is my karma. अरे my karma तो ठीक है, लेकिन when we say my karma, actually we are saying as if it is my fate. It is my niyati. It's not so. It is actually your karma. That means I am responsible for that. The karma model is not to excuse you from your causality, but to put all the responsibility on you. You see how we are misusing it? Is it understandable? It is to make us responsible for everything in life. When you say that I have been very honest and good, But why am I suffering from poverty? The other person is always unrighteous and he is having all the comfort. So you are not able to understand the causality. So to make you not to go into the real detail of it, why you are poor, because of your foolishness perhaps. But let us not say you are born in a poor family. That is the first reason that one will be a poor. So why a good person is born in a poor family and a bad person is born in a rich family? That will make him poor and rich. Now because we are not able to understand this simple causality, that anybody born in a poor family will be poor, and anybody born in a rich family will be rich. Now what will happen later, it depends on their further karma, their further causality. But we don't accept that. We want to understand that why it is like that. So you are told that actually you don't know, in the past life you have done all wrong things, so you have been born in a poor family, you are now poor. And this person you don't know, next life he is going to be born in a very suffering, and this and that, many things will happen. Or they will say that he will go to the hell and will undergo this torture, that torture. So a causal chain is created, and also with the past, with the future. They say now you remain honest, you do good work, then the next life you will be having a comfortable life. Or you will go to the heaven where you will have the comfortable life. So on one hand, they are giving you a continuity of the process, which always satisfies us. We cannot just think that nothing will be there after the body falls. Second point is that it is bridling us to do good, that to remain on good path. Actually, there are various subtle karmas, not only at this level where we can even find out that it is my indulgence which has spoiled my child. There are very subtle forces working in our mind, in our family, everywhere. We are not aware of it. So everything is related by karma. We say that to have a good sannyasin in a family, there should be a punya for 7 generations minimum. Why it is said? Because spirituality, although it is in a seed form, it is introduced. To take a proper blossoming of it, it takes quite a few generations. It introduces a subtle force in us. And then that changes the next generation, next generation, next generation. Like that it goes on changing. So these subtle forces, the subtle laws, we will not be able to see. So this karma theory is given in a simple form so that people understand. See, in some cases, seeing a person, one can say that, oh, a death is written on his face. How is it said? There are some subtle things. In some cases, seeing the person, you know that he is not going to be corrected because deep-seated corruption is there. Deep-seated stealth is there. Seeing a person, it can be known, but we are not able to have that subtle vision, so naturally we will not know. Karma is the causality not only in the gross form, in subtler, in various ranges. Karma theory works in entire creation, it is all karma only. Everywhere it is causality, and everything has got its cause. And this model is taken in the religious code also, to make us responsible for everything happening in our society, everything happening in our life. When the road accident, so many people die, we call upon God. But actually it is our karma only. We have made the road, we have made the traffic rules, we are violating the traffic rules. It is all our karma. Now what will happen when there is so many factors coming in? So we say Daivam cha atra panchamam, that Daiva providence also will work in that. But the karma definitely works through that. Along with that, a Daiva effect also is there. So karma is not to be cited escaping the causality. It is meant to make us responsible for whatever is happening in our life. You know that story that a boy became criminal. He did not have his parents. He was brought up by his bua, auntie. And finally he was to be hanged in the jail. What is the last wish? He wanted to see his aunt. When the aunt came, he asked her to come closer so that he can whisper in her ear something. Actually he bit her ear took it away, cutting it, saying that this is the punishment for spoiling me. Because he became a criminal because of the aunt's indulgence. Like that, we have also direct example in our ashram also. Not in our ashram, close to our ashram. So many times caution has been given, but the mother is so blind that nothing happens. One day the boy sent the mother to the ashram. Then the mother got so happy that he never asked me to go to the ashram. Today he made an arrangement for coming me to the ashram. She was quite old by then. When she went back from the ashram, she found that her locker also was taken, all the jewelry, everything has been taken away. The boy has taken and gone away from there. There was a reputed family, and finally the police had to caught the boy and bring near the mother also. So many things happen like this. We are not able to understand the whole causality. Now, the third is this karma, and fourth is the punarjanma. This punarjanma also, it is causing the link. What it is? God, heaven and hell, then karma theory and punarjanma. That means the causality is not over in one life. It is going forward, it is coming from backward. But what is this punarjanma? It is given a very simple model that something like the Atma comes out of the body subtle, the body falls, but it goes and takes up another body according to its karma. That means in this life, whatever karma has been done, according to that, it takes another body. Now there is certain reason in it, but punarjanma real, if at all it exists, it is not like that at all. And people also misunderstand that this Atma spoken of in religion as punarjanma is not the Atma we talk about in the spirituality. Because spiritual Atma everywhere, all over the book, what is it saying? That it never changes, it never goes everywhere, it never goes from here to there, it is all-pervading. It is always the same, there cannot be any change. If it is all-pervading, always the same, there is only one Atma, not even one, it is transcendental, then where is the question of Atma moving from here to there? It means it is an object before us. It's a very subtle object, but it is moving. It is restricted to one body, it goes to another body, then again goes to heaven, hell. So it is something moving. That means it is in the objectude, in the object field. It cannot be the Atma in spirituality is the subject. You cannot locate the Atma as you are knowing or you are seeing at all. There lies the difficulty in knowing the Atma, because it has to be self-revealing. The Atma is it is the consciousness which reveals everything and reveals itself also. These words have to be understood very clearly, because reveals itself means what? It is not that the Atma has revealed now, I am knowing the Atma. Then the Atma becomes different from you. It cannot be known like that. Atma reveals itself means it is a subjective knowledge itself revealing. It is not as an object you are seeing the Atma. Is it clear? All these things you have to think to get to the truth. It will give some idea about the truth. So naturally, if the Atma is the one we are discussing in the Upanishads or in spirituality, that Atma can never move. That Atma, there is no janma, no mrityu. Na jayate na mriyate va kadachit. Nayam bhutva na bhavita, nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyaha. In Kathopanishad and Bhagavad Gita, little different. But that is the Atma is never born, never dying. It has not come out of anything. It cannot cause anything. It is not in the objectude. The whole cause and effect chain is in the object level, in the objective universe. It's not in the subject. So, suppose in the sea, the waves are coming and waves are dying. Now, can you say that the wave which was there 1 minute back and the new wave which has risen 1 minute later, it is this wave which has become this wave? It is the 1 minute back wave has become this wave. It is not one-to-one correspondence. This we should understand. The molecules of the previous waves have gone into multifarious waves here as material. and the forces which was operating in rising the previous wave, those forces are modified to create the future waves, but not one to one. One to one correspondence, that wave 1 minute back, there are millions of waves, and 1 minute later, there are millions of waves. You cannot relate one wave to the other wave. It is all working together. Like that, as an entity, as a human being, we have various material things which will go and mix with the matter when the body falls. But there could be various other forces. Suppose you have a very strong desire. Is it not something which wants to fruition? Any desire means it's a strong potential energy which would try to fructify. This I am saying from my scientific idea, that it is only a conjecture. I cannot prove it because we don't know. But it is very likely that desire, suppose the body suddenly falls, but that strong desire is there. It would like to fructify. It will go to different places where it can fruition. So that is why our Shastras say that if you desire to have only quantity of food, there are people who eat lot of food, not so much with the taste and all. Then the next life he will be born as an elephant. The meaning is that kind of a desire of eating the quantity of food will be fructified in the elephant body. Why should he be born as a human being? Human being, what is the speciality? Is having your intellect and also the option of choosing that is viveka. Viveka is generally not seen in other animals, we don't know. But it is not there. So unless you utilize whatever has been specially given to you as human beings, say viveka and self-will and all, then there is no point in that life. So naturally you will be born as something else, where viveka is not there. That is why they say that such a life he will be born as insects or animals or like that. Do you get it? So there is point, there is reason in the model. It is giving a continuity, and it is, if we go into it, it is making you do good, live a proper life, utilize the special properties, special powers given to the human personality. We are supposed to use it. If you don't use it, then the life is meaningless. That is why these are given. These are all based on certain, and whether such an Atma is there which is coming out of the body and going into another body, it is not a spiritualist question at all. It is one day for science to declare, if at all it is there. Why? Because it is in the object field. Something is coming up, something is going. Suppose they say Kirlian photography. I don't know the truth of it, but I have been reading about it from 60s. That there is an aura around us and the Kirlian photography can picture it. Now is it not a science? Now many of the scientists do not agree, or some can agree also. If that aura changes with our mental state and all, it is entirely in the object field. It is for science to discover with their subtle instruments. So if such element is there which is moving from here to there, etc., it is one day for science to discover that Atma. In spirituality, we don't speak about that kind of an Atma at all. But spirituality never denounces religion, because people are coming from religion to spirituality, and religion should not be denied or denounced also, because the mass will be confused by that. So you will find lot of statements which take this punarjanma and other things. In Kathopanishad we have quite a few shlokas, in Bhagavad Gita we have quite a few shlokas, keeping that model of the religious model of punarjanma. But at the same time it is speaking, most of the shlokas it is speaking about an Atma which never moves, never goes, it is unlimited, it is not in the object field at all. So those who are reading with enough of thought and attention, they will find a contradiction. That how can the Atma be na jayate na mriyate? It is punarjanma, he said, it goes from here to there. How can the Atma be without any movement? The only thing which cannot have any movement, any change is the Atma. All other things are created. They have janma, they have mrityu, they have change. Other than that, and it is not a thing, it is the I in us which has to be known as the amness. It cannot be known as an object. So when they are not able to reconcile, they will understand that these shlokas are kept to or on the basis of the religious model, so that when general people in general they read also, they will not be confused or misled, because the real truth, it is extremely difficult to understand and know. Do you get it? This is the generally the basis of our religious model and spirituality. In taking to spirituality, we have to surpass all religious models. They are actually, if a person is strongly religious, then they will find it very difficult to get over those religious concepts. They will hold him back. So for that, shloka after shloka is there in the Upanishads, which will treat our mind that if you are a worshipper of a Devi, consider the Devi to be your eye. If you are doing yaga jajja, consider the Havan Kunda. Fire is not in the Havan Kunda. The fire is right within, which is expressing as the I in you. Like that they will express everything. Now this Kathopanishad, this point came to my mind because at the end of this section, Kathopanishad says that this has to be read in the Brahmana Sabha and Shraddha Sabha. The Kathopanishad is supposed to be exposed and explained in Brahmana Sabha and Shraddha Sabha. Why Shraddha Sabha? Because somebody has died. Shraddha is the karma we are doing for a dead person. So naturally there will be enquiry about, is he still there, is he seeing whatever we are doing, is he getting the food we are offering, all those questions will be there. So people will be attentive to know that what happens after death, the question is that, so they will be attentive to know. And when they are attentive, through Kathopanishad discussion, they are coming to know that the Atma, nothing happens to it at all. And is it not better to take to that punarjanma model? Because what is the beauty of the punarjanma model? It says that there is something when the body falls. Is it not? The other day also I said asti. It has to be known as asti. That means when the body falls after death, there is something. We are saying that the Atma goes here, there, etc. But there is, the Atma is there. So the enquiry will be there, the what is that Atma? And in Kathopanishad it will say that Atma, if you have to know right now here. Not after the body falls. Because after the body falls, your buddhi will not be there. The buddhi is located in the brain. So you have to know right now, and you are in reality that alone. Even now when the body falls and after the body falls, there is no change in you. So is it not better to say that there is a punarjanma and Atma goes from here to there than to say that there is no Atma? Do you get my point? If you say that no, there is no such Atma, what kind of Atma is there, people will not understand immediately. So they will not inquire also. But when you are saying that there is this Atma which goes from here to there, we would like to see that Atma. And many people claim they have seen going there, here, there's afterlife, what happens, there are books also. So the enquiry will remain alive. We would like to inquire what is that Atma. So in that process they are giving us the knowledge that that Atma, whatever is in this world, it is the same in the other world. There are shlokas exactly like that. The Atma is the same, whether it is in this world when the body is there or in the other world, there is no change. There cannot be any change because Atma doesn't undergo any change any time at all. It is the consciousness on which all the changeful objects are appearing to be. So that is the purpose of calling that this is read in the Shraddha Sabha, because that time people will be interested to know, and they will know about the immortality of the soul, that Atma never undergoes any change, there is no death for the Atma. So I am actually immortal. So people are generally scared of death. Is it not so? Even when we are doing the death ceremony, also the fear of death is there. So when we come to know in my real identity I am immortal, will not the fear of death go? That is why the Rishi says that Tvameva viditva atimrutyumeti. We are surrounded by death. Death we are calling the bodily death, but actual death is everywhere, it is death. Any loss is a death. We are always surrounded by either my death or others' death, mostly others' death. All these things are crowding our mind, we are fearful about it. Tameva viditva atimrutyumeti. That means we surpass death by knowing that the I never dies. That I is one, singular, it is beyond one, it is transcendental. It doesn't have any change, any birth, any death at all. So it puts us on a solid ground where there is no shaking at all. That we will consider death or life on the same footing, equally blissful in both. Now why Brahmana Sabha? Because the Brahmanas were given to the priesthood and doing yaga, yajna, etc. These are all after the Upanayana, people are having the fitness to do the karma. So Brahmanas were given to all the ritualistic karma. All the rituals were done by karma. Now when they are doing karma, there is enough possibility, not only possibility of evidence, that they are trapped by the superiority of that. And they get bound to that. They don't accept that there is something further called knowledge or so. So they remain in the ritualistic cocoon and consider that to be the Upanishads also describes all this, particularly Mundaka Upanishad. Those who think that this is the ultimate, they are the first of the fools. Like that it condemns all that. So to take the Brahmanas out of their cocoon of ritualism, Kathopanishad is necessary, or any other Upanishad. So Kathopanishad is to be read and exposed in the Shraddha Sabha to give people the real idea of the immortality of the soul and not to take away the fear of death. There are similar many slokas like that also, to take away the fear. For whom the Yamaraja, for whom the Brahmana Kshatriya are the rice and chapati, like that. He is not saying chapati. And for whom the Yamaraja himself in India is a side dish, some sabji. Who will be afraid of that? See, this supreme truth is such that all the created figures, Brahma, Yamaraja, everything is appearing in that. They are all working in fear of the supreme. They say, Bhayat Suryam Tapati. Surya Tapati. What is that? The sloka numbers I forgot. Mrityu Dhavati Panchaman, but Bhayad Asyagnis Tapati, Bhayat Tapati Suryaha, Bhayad Indrascha Vayuscha, Mrityur Dhavati Panchamaha. In his fear, the fire is giving heat, the sun is giving light. Even the Indra, who is the Lord of electricity, we cannot run without electricity. That lightning is his power. Vayuhu, without Vayu we cannot have life. It's the life force. Everything is doing their duty as if in fear of this truth. Because they are all, the substratum is the consciousness, substratum is the truth. They are all existing on that substratum. It's a figurative expression that they are, as if they are in their fear, they are doing all this. Mrityur Dhavati Panchama. That means even the Yamaraja himself is saying, even the Yamaraja Mrityu is doing his job out of the fear of this consciousness, fear of the truth. So when you are taking, this is very important, when you have taken refuge in that truth, in that ultimate consciousness, Atma, Brahman or truth, then will you be afraid of anything else? The most scaring things all are working in fear of him. So when we were reading this verse, initially the question came up that the Upanishad is always giving us abhaya. It's the abode of fearlessness. Then why is he suddenly bringing in bhaya, that everything is running in fear of this, fear of that, fear of that. It is not to make us fearful. It is to take us to the abode of fearlessness. That you are taking refuge in something about fear of whom is making the whole universe work. So what we will fear there? Even if there is bhukam, there is earthquake, or there is a complete destruction. Our Shastra said that if one day suddenly all the seas become dry also, the knower will not be affected and he will not be concerned. I mean, he will not be surprised also. Anything can happen. The whole earth can be pulverized one day. Knower is not afraid of anything. But some institutions, they create a fear that earth will be destroyed on, it was earlier 1980, then it became 1990, then it became 1999, like that is going. It doesn't get destroyed, what can they do? They go on the freak. So it is not to create the fear of death at all. They are talking about fear to say that you are taking in the lap of the abode of fearlessness. So what are you to fear? Nothing. Mrityu will dance in you. Birth and death, happiness and suffering, everything will be danced in your hand. Like Nataraja. Nataraja, what is he doing? He is dancing with the beauty of dance when the whole universe is destroyed. The destruction is also joy there. Girna bhi anand hai. The other day I told, no? Marna bhi anand hai. So where is the fear of death? So to take out the Brahmanas from the cocoon of ritualism, it has to be studied in the Brahmana Sabha. These are the two things they have said at the end of that. Now let us get back to there are quite a few shlokas, that is Yamaraja is enticing Nachiketa, trying to attract him and to change his boon, because this knowledge is the ultimate secret of life, that is the ultimate in life. Beyond that there cannot be anything. So he is not ready to give it unless Nachiketa proves that he is desirous, he deserves it. So those shlokas I will not go into. He is bringing in, as I described the other day, everything, and finally he says in shloka number 25, 1.1.25. You see that? I will just read it. Before that he has given already the kingship of the whole earth and thousands of years of life, all these things have, and health also, all these have been given. But Nachiketa is not moving, so he started bringing in the materials right in front. Because it is one thing to say, I will give you 1 crore of rupees. But when the 1 crore of rupees is hand, is it not different? I can say that I will give you 1 crore. That will not affect so much. But right in front you have all the money, whole. And he is giving you. Then the mind will be getting attracted. So that technique Yamaraja also is doing. He brought the diamond-studded chariots and all. He says, Ye kama durlabha matyaloke sarvan kamam chandata prarthayasva ima rama saratha saturya na hirshalambhaniya manushyaih abhirmat prattabhih paricharayasva Nachiketo maranam manuprakshihi. He says that these desirous things, these desired things, ye kama durlabha matyaloke, the human beings on earth, they cannot fulfill that desire for all these things what I have brought for you. Sarvan kamansh chandataha prarthayasva. Not only these, whatever you think, it will come before you. You pray for anything you like to have, everything is before you, it will come to you immediately. This is 1.1.25. Ima Ramaha Saratha Saturya. All these dance users, the musicians with various kinds of instruments and all, they are not available to the human beings on earth. Nahi risha lambhaniya manushe. The human beings are not, they are not able to get these. Abhihi mat prattabhihi paricharayasva. They have all come here listening to me. You get them, do anything. They will obey your order. They will do whatever you want. But Nachiketa, maranam manuprakshihi. Please do not ask that question which you are asking about death. Please relieve me of that. The answer to the question on death. But you can enjoy the. What is it meaning? That until our desires are all over, desires are all gone, this truth will not be revealed to us. Now, what is the reason? As I said, that this desire means bhogecha, the tendency to enjoy, is it not? So, when we are trying to get withdrawn to the self, even in thinking of the self also we are having the bhogecha, that self I will know as different from me, and that the self-realization is something great, I would become self-realized. So that is also a bhogecha. By that what are we doing? We are making the self non-self. We are wanting to have something different from me. We are wanting to have a second. Is it clear? So when the mind leaves this craving for a second, anything other than me, then only the self will reveal itself. Until we completely withdraw from the craving of having anything second, self will not reveal. Nayamatma pravachanena labhyo na medhayana bahuna shrutena. From Kathopanishad only. Yamevaisha vrinute tena labhya tasyaisha atma vivrinute tanum swam. They are taking the illustration of marriage. That in marriage what are we doing? Out of all the people we are doing varana for one. We are taking one. Like that, in this case also, out of everything in the world, whatever can happen in the world, in this world or the heaven or in any other world, in preference to everything, we have to do the varana. We have to put the varana mala, the garland, on our own self. That means no second. We have to put that on our own self. Then only the Atma reveals itself. Yamevaisha vrinute tena labhya tasyaisha atma vivrinute tanum swam. To him the Atma reveals its own body, reveals its own truth. So, all these are mentioned that from heaven, etc., all these things are brought only to say that as long as we want to have something else, this will not be there. So it may not have in one go, as we get the taste of our Atmasthiti or the Atmic experience, naturally that helps to get rid of all. Suppose the Ananda we get the first time through meditation, immediately we feel that this kind of Ananda we have not got from anywhere in the worldly level. When we are forgetting the world, we are right in the self. The joy it gives is so great that it's not that immediately you will be free of desires. That will help you to further analyze, evaluate, what am I trying for? What am I doing? That will take away the taste from all other things. So in the Sadhana Chatushtaya, the sixfold treasures, the Shamadhamadi Shadga Sampatti, Uparati there is one. Uparati means the reveling. Generally we are given to Vishaya Rati. The Vishaya means the objective situation and object. We are reveling in the objects. Now objects can be gross, it can be fine also. We are reveling in reading the novels, reading books or so, or thinking something we are reveling. All these are, we are reveling in something other than the self. Even reveling in a thought also, we are reveling in something other than the self. So Uparati means we will not revel in anything second. Now when will it happen? Only when we have the Atmarati. So actually Uparati can come only through Atmarati. That is, when we revel in the self, then automatically we lose taste for anything else. So when he did that, he said, Nachiketo maranam manuprakshihi. You please take away your question, ask for something else. Anything else I will give you, but not this. By saying repeatedly all these things, it is repeatedly emphasized that this is the last thing in life. There cannot be anything beyond that. That's it. What Bhagavad Gita says, Yam labdhva chaparam labham manyatena adhikam tataha yasmin sthitona dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate. By getting it, no other gain will be a gain anymore. By getting established in which, even the severest of suffering also will not cause any problem, will not unseat you, will not deflect or affect you. In reply to this, Nachiketa says, this is Nachiketa's statement again. The other day I told also, now we will read it. This you should repeat. Shobhava matyasya yadantakaitat Shobhava matyasya yadantakaitat Shobhava matyasya yadantakaitat Matyasya. You will find Upanishads will repeatedly tell us Matya, Matya, Matya. Why? Matya means mortal, mortal. Repeatedly, we are immortal. That they want to emphasize. So, in contrast, they will always refer to us as Matya, Matya, Matya. That you remember that the body which you are thinking as I, your identity is with the body. That body is not immortal, it is mortal. To remind us that the body is mortal, what are they trying to do? You shift your emphasis from there, which is always there. You cannot miss it. The self cannot be missed because everything is appearing on the self. That is the revealer of the entire world, the outer world, the internal world of thought. Without the consciousness, can you have any perception? All the perceptions are taking place in that consciousness alone. Upanishad says, Pratibodha viditam. In every perception it has to be known. And it is there. We are always, because our focus is always on small things. The moment the revealer reveals something, our focus is on the revealed, not on the revealer. So it is only a question of shifting our attention, that we are so engrossed with the small things, the gross things. It is not easy to shift it to that ever-present self, which is the only reality and which is always there. Without that we cannot have the world perception. That we are missing. So they will repeatedly say, we are Atma, we have committed suicide because this is our real Atma and we are not knowing it. So what is it? It is as if we have killed our Atma. So we have all committed suicide, Atmaha, we have killed our Atma. So they refer to us, always telling us that the Matya, because as long as you are identifying with the body-mind personality, you are a Matya. And know that it is Swaha Abhava. Swaha means tomorrow. Abhava means which is not there. That maybe it is 10,000 years later, but it is futile. When the Brahma came and told Rama that I am Brahma, he said, which number Brahma? Brahma thought that I am the only Brahma, the creator. Rama knows the truth that there are so many Brahmas ruling over so many Brahmandas. We know of one universe. There could be so many other universes ruled by different Brahmas. So it is only to tell that even the Brahma also is within the created concepts. So you will find Shankaracharya always will refer to from the Brahma to the blade of grass. You have to consider Kakavishtavat. They are very strong in their words. Not your husband, wife or children or the 5-storied building. From the creator Brahma to the blade of grass, everything to be considered as useless as Kakavishta, the crows dropping. Kakavishta means, Kaka means crow, Vishta means dropping. So it is the way they want to emphasize that our mind should be, the focus should be shifted from the gross things to the subtle. Shobhavaamatyasya yadantakaitat. Antakaitat is Antaka. Antaka is Yamaraja's name. Etat Antaka, etat yadantakaitat. Yat Antaka, etat yadantakaitat. Sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha. Api sarvam jivitamalpameva. Api sarvam jivitamalpameva. Tavaiva bahastrava tava nritya gite. You can by heart this shloka, it's very good. Each statement is great. It is Nachiketa's statement to Yamaraja. He says, Shvaha abhava matyasya yadantakaitat. O Antaka, O Yamaraja, whatever you have brought, they are all fragile, they are all futile, they will not be there tomorrow. That means they are all perishable. Sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha. And the kind of indulgence you are talking about, you are trying to give me, I am not a fool to take to that, because they will deplete all my sense organs. Sense organs are given to us to perceive. But the more we indulge in the sense objects, they lose their strength. As I said, that every night we have to have a deep sleep when the sense organs are not indulging in the objects. Even in the dream also, these outer indriyas may be silent at that time. But the real picture is taking place in the cortices, in the visual cortex, in the auditory cortex, in the brain, in your mind. So you will find in the dream also you become very disturbed, is it not? Depending on the dream, sometimes you become very happy seeing something, and sometimes you become very disturbed that whatever is happening. That means the use of the indriyas, the real subtle indriyas, these are the gross indriyas. So in sleep they are all silent, they are not used. So they will be alright. But inside where the pictures are generated in the brain, those cortices, they will be becoming tired by dream. If you have a full night of dreamful sleep, you will be dead tired in the morning. You will sleep daytime, you will be dozing. So this complete deep sleep is necessary to recharge the indriyas to do the next day's duty again. Otherwise, this indulgence in the senses, they deplete out the power of the indriyas. So whatever you are saying of Yamaraja, they will only deplete my indriyas. I will lose my normal perception. Sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha. The tejas of the indriyas will go. Api sarvam jivitam alpameva. Whatever 1,000 years of life or 10,000 years of life, whatever you have given, it is all insufficient to Yamaraja, because the sufficiency of the life does not depend on the lifespan. I have explained it the other day also. Even after leading 100 years of life, if you are not fulfilled, if you still want to enjoy, that means the life has not been sufficient. You have not fulfilled your life. Is it not? Still you are craving for that bhogecha is still there. Until the bhogecha goes, until the craving to enjoy goes, the life is not sufficient. So the span of life will not determine whether life has been fulfilling or not. If you become fulfilled in a 20 years of life, then it has served its purpose, you have fulfilled. So you can die anytime, you can live also another 100 years also, it doesn't matter. So the fulfillment does not depend on the span of life, but on the desirelessness of the mind, getting relieved of the bhogecha or desire of the mind. So he is telling Yamaraja, mind it, 7-year-old boy, Shishya, Yamaraja Shishya is telling Yamaraja that the thousands and thousands years of life and health you are giving, they are not going to serve my purpose. Because as long as the bhogecha, the desires are there, whatever span, the life is insufficient. So I want to know the ultimate truth which will make me fulfilled. In this life, in 7 years I will become fulfilled. He was only 7 or 8 years old. So therefore, tavaiva bahas tava nitya gite. O Yamaraja, all these chariots and dance uses and musicians, let them amuse you, let them be with you. Nachiketa is not interested in them. I am interested in knowing whatever I have asked for my third boon. So this is the vairagya of a disciple. Vairagya doesn't mean running away from home. Vairagya means understanding the value of everything properly. He continues, Na vittena tarpaniyo manusho. This statement is often quoted in various places. Na vittena tarpaniyo manusho. Tarpana has come from Tirtha. Tirtha means who is satisfied. That means by vitta, by property, by possession, by riches, by any material objects, man cannot be satisfied. Lapsyamahe vittamadakshma chetva. That he is still a boy, a small boy. He says, Yamaraja, since I have seen you and I have met you, will there be any deficiency for me? I will get all the vittas because I have already met you. And about life, whenever you have already graced me, so whenever, as long life I want, I will have. Lapsyamahe vittam adrakshma chetva jivishyamo yavad ishishyasitvam. As long as you wish me to live, I will live. Varastu me varaniyaha saeva. I stick to my vara, the third boon I wanted. What is that? Yeyam prete vichikitsa manushya etad vidya manushishtastvayaham. That boon. He does not stop there. He continues further. He says, Ajiryatam amritanam upetya yiryanmatyaha kvadastha prajanan. These are all difficult, so I am not asking you to read. See, he has come to a person who is immortal and who has known the truth, so he has identified with the immortality. Coming to such a person, say any knower, when we go, what is the knower's criterion? That he has identified himself with the immortal truth. So from such a man, shall I ask anything which is futile or which is perishable or which will not be there tomorrow? So Nachiketa says that I have come to a person, to you, Yamaraja, who has known the truth, who has identified his identity, himself, with the eternal truth, immortal Atma. Will I ask any small things which is perishable from him? Avidhyayan varnarati pramodat atidirghe jivite ko rameta. Very good. He says avidhyayan means going deep into. What is that? Varnarati pramodan. All this colorful display and color, music, dance, etc. Going deep into the enjoyment people get out of it. One who has understood what is it actually, what is it going to give us in our life. One who has understood. Will anybody ask for a very long life? Ati dirghe jivite ko rameta. So you are giving me thousands and thousands of years of life for what? You are telling me you enjoy all these things. I have known already how much to be enjoyed. Do we enjoy the same thing for 1,000 years or so? We will get bored. So who will ask for a dirgha life with these enjoyments? So he has cut off all Yamaraja's attractions, that let them be with you and nobody can be satisfied with these properties and all. And they are nothing, they will spoil my indriyas, and I am not going to be fulfilled by enjoying any of them. And coming to a person like you, will I ask for all these things? I am asking for my real, the ultimate truth. Then comes the Yamaraja has understood that this is a boy who should be instructed. But he straight away he doesn't instruct Brahma Vidya. He will start it in the next chapter. Here he starts saying how a seeker's life should proceed. Because he is a small boy, naturally he will not easily. These are some good shlokas are there. I have already told also. Yamaraja says, this I would like you to repeat. Anyachreyo, this is next chapter, first shloka. Canto 2 in some book, it is part 1, Canto 2, first shloka. Anyachreyo anyadutaiva preyah. Anyachreyo anyadutaiva preyah. ते उभे नानार्थे पुरुषं सिनीतः. He says anyat shreyah. You remember in Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, 2nd verse, 7th verse, Arjuna is saying, Yat shreyasyat nishchitam bruhitan me. That I am not a seeker of prayers, I am a seeker of shreyas. You tell me where lies the shreyas without any ambiguity. Like that, here he is saying, there is two things called shreyas and prayas. Shreyaha and prayaha. The prayas means which is immediately pleasant to the sense organs and to us, it is immediately pleasant, but which will deviate us from the ultimate truth, the ultimate auspicious goal of life. As just now Nachiketa said that the indulgence in the sense objects will take us away from the wholesome truth, the subtle truth. We will not look at that at all. Anyat shreyaha, anyat utaiva preyaha. That shreya and preyaha, they are entirely different. We must understand that they are different. Te ubhe nanarthe purusham sinitaha. As if they tie us for entirely different objectives. That is, those who are opting for prayers, their life will be led in a certain manner. Those who are opting for shreyas, their life will be led in another manner. Tying means in that sense. Anyat shreyo anyadutaiva preyah. Te ubhe nanarthe purusham sinitaha. Tayo shreya adadanasya sadhu bhavati. Tayo shreya adadanasya sadhu bhavati. Hiyate arthat yayupreyo vrinite. See, hiyate arthat, that a is getting dropped, so they have given the luptakara. Tayoho shreya adadanasya sadhu bhavati. Of the two, tayoho means of the two. That is Shashti Vibhakti. Between the two, shreya adadanasya sadhu bhavati. One who always looks for the shreyas, shreya, the ultimate auspicious, sadhu bhavati, their life becomes fulfilled, they attain the well-being. Hiyate arthat, others, they get deviated from the artha. Artha means the ultimate goal of life, which, as I said, the human being, the speciality is that this search. In Bhagavatam it is in a shloka beautifully described that in the human being is given the highest position, because in the human being the truth has given the power to look into itself, to search for itself. We can look for our real identity. So that is the artha of human life. That is the ultimate object of human life. Because that takes away all our troubles, all our sufferings, everything. That shanti, shanti, shanti we explain. That gives us the absolute fulfillment of life. So, hiyate arthad yayu preyo vrinite. Those who does the varana for the prayers in preference to the shreyas. That means those who opt for the prayers in preference to the shreyas, they get deviated from this ultimate object of human life. Anyat shreyo anyadutaiva preyah te ubhe nanarthe purusham sinitah tayo shreya adadanasya sadhu bhavati hiyate arthat yayupreyo vrinite. Next, shreyascha preyascha manushyam etah Shreyascha preyascha manushyam tau samparitya vibhinakti dhiraha tau samparitya vibhinakti dhiraha shreyo hi dhirobhi preyaso vrinite preyo mando yogakshemad vrinite shreyo hi dhirobhi preyaso vrinite preyo mando yogakshemad vrinite. He says, Shreyascha preyascha manushyam etah. That Shreyas and Preyas are always coming before us. We can say that nature or providence is bringing the Shreyas and Preyas, the two baskets, always presenting before us. Tau, the choice, that means the choice is for us. The nature is bringing both to us, and we have been given the power of choosing by nature. We have the power of choice also. It is for us what we choose, and the corresponding result also will be according to that. So he says, Tau samparitya vivinakti dhiraha. What does the dhiraha do? So here they have used two words, dhiraha and mandaha. Sometimes they will use mudhaha, sometimes they will use sammudhaha. That is for those who are not intelligent, those who are not taking to this path, that those who are not dhiraha. Dhiraha, actually, the etymologically it has beautiful meaning. One is that who keeps his intelligence active. Generally, we always, most of the time our intelligence is sleeping. You think about our life generally, we don't activate the intelligence. This is the tamasika guna. That the property of tamoguna is to keep the intelligence always idle, and our mind goes on thinking here and there. The two, both are inertia, but two are different. One is a static inertia, another is a dynamic inertia. Those who have studied physics will understand. See, the wheel is rolling. To stop it, you need a force. Otherwise, it will go on rolling. That is a dynamic inertia. Left to itself, it will roll. Like that, the mind has a dynamic inertia. You don't have to project the mind, force the mind to think. It goes on thinking. And the intelligence has a static inertia. To make the intelligence think, you have to be effortful. So both are inertias. So he says that dhiraha is one who keeps his intelligence active, who agitates his intelligence. Dhiyam irayati iti dhiraha. That is the Bhutpatti, the etymology of this dhiraha word. Dhiyam irayati. Irayati means churning the buttermilk. That stick you churn, that churning. Dhiyam means the buddhi. Irayati iti dhiraha. One who churns always the buddhi. That is, buddhi is always active. Another etymological meaning is dhiyam rati iti dhiyaha, for whom the intelligence is friendly to him. Rati means is the friend to him. Because suppose a thief or a dacoit also, he is churning his intelligence, but it is churning the intelligence in a wrong manner. So it is not actually becoming a friend to the person. The intelligence will not lead him to the ultimate goal. He will take him away. So both together is the dhiraha. A dhira is one whose intelligence is always churned, is active, and also it is acting in a friendly manner to him. It will always try to keep him on the right track, on the auspicious track. That is called a dhiraha. So a dhiraha, what does it do? Tau samparitya. Tau means these two. What are the two? Shreyas and Preyas. Any event, any situation before you, there is the choice before you. Shall I do this or shall I do that? Shall I take path A or shall I take path B? So he says, Tau samparitya. The situation he will go around. Samparitya means going around. That means looking into the pros and cons, everything. Now it has come like this, I go here, and so ultimately what will happen? What is this? Is it trying to trap me, or this or that? Everything he will think. One is samparitya, means going around. And vivinakti. Vivinakti means cut and dry method. That vivinakti. Vinakti means you cut into pieces and look into it. So examination, to have completeness, you have to go around and also cut it and look into what is there inside. So a dhira's nature is this kind of an inspection, that they will look into the pros and cons of everything, what will happen later in time. Now it is looking very pleasant, but in later what is going to happen, and what is in it? Am I going to be trapped in something, or something this way or that way? Everything they will see. After seeing, they will choose for, in preference to Preyas, they will choose for Shreyas. That is, understanding the situation, he will think whether A will take me to Shreyas or B will take me to Shreyas. So understanding that, in preference to the Preyas, he will select the Shreyas. I will take the path A. Whereas, Preyo mando yogakshemad vrinite. Whereas the mandaha, who is not keeping his intelligence active, mandaha means under the influence of tamoguna, who is not keeping his intelligence active, or even if the intelligence is active, it is not working in the friendly manner. What does he do? He always looks for in preference to Shreyas, he opts for the Preyas. He will select what is immediately pleasurable. And why? He is saying, Yoga Kshema Vrinite. Kshema means he is given to possessiveness. A mandaha is given to always possessiveness, because his focus is on the worldly things and worldly objects. So he would always like to possess more and more and more. Yesterday we were studying that buddhi, pravritti and nivritti. He will be given to pravritti, have more and more and more, accumulate more and more. That is yoga. That means whatever you have, you preserve it is kshema, and add more to it is yoga. So yoga kshema together means to preserve your all possession, not to give anything, like Vajasravas. He was not giving anything, only the useless things. And also add to that further and further. So his mind is given to possessiveness. That is the main time. Possessiveness means his Shadga Sampatti is not the Shamadamadi Shadga Sampatti, not the internal treasure, but the external treasure of riches, property, fame, and whatnot. So, because his mind is always given to possessiveness and adding more and more of possession, he will always prefer the whatever is immediately pleasurable. The other things, what will happen at the end and all, he will not be concerned about. Our boy, I had told this earlier also, but it's a very good example. Our long back, about 20 years back, one boy had been sent to our ashram during his summer vacation, not Bunty, another boy. They also had come, but this boy was given to very, very sharp and immediate answering things, very active. So Swamiji was telling him about some story and he was responding in a certain manner which was not the righteous manner. So Swamiji gave an example that whatever position, whatever anybody gives, will you take? Yes, I will take. So suppose you are walking on the road and two people ran to you and gave you 3 kilograms of gold. Keep it, bolke de diya. Will you take it? Yes, why not? It is gold, 3 kilograms of gold. I will immediately take it. Okay, you have taken it, you are going with the gold. The police people were running behind him. They come and find the gold with you. They catch you and put you in the prison. Oh, no, then I will not take. So after the police catches him, he will not take. So this is what happens, that Adhira will be thinking, first of all, he will think, why should I take gold? I don't own it. I don't deserve it. Suddenly some unknown person giving you gold, just because it is gold, will you take? Anything, any valuable thing to receive, you must deserve it, you must have a certain link. So you must think that why are they giving, at least ask them why are you giving me, and I don't want, because I don't know you what for you are giving. So they will not think all that, it is gold, so yoga, you take it. Yoga kshema means that. No, that is in a different perspective. That is yoga kshema bahamyaham, the Bhagavan is saying that I will look after their whatever to be preserved and whatever further they will need. Same word, but the impression is different. They are doing yoga kshema bahamyaham means, suppose you are surrendered to God. So naturally, sometimes you may not have food. So you will find that somewhere food is coming. Food, you will not go hungry fully. That is the yoga. And suppose you have some little things to look after you. Maybe you have a small cottage or so. That also will look after, that you don't lose it. That is the yoga kshema. We have so many examples. Our Haripriya ji was once, she is a brigadier's wife who renounced and became a sannyasin. Swamiji said that you take up sannyasin, I am not going to give you, but you take up sannyasa and you go your own way. So she went to Rishikesh and stayed in a cave. You can imagine, she was a young lady at that time, staying alone in a cave in Rishikesh. She is still living, but in the last phase, of course, perhaps. So there once, she was not getting any food, going hungry. So one day said, she started praying, she is a devotee of Krishna also. Said, what is this that your devotee never goes hungry? You said, yoga kshemam bahamyaham. What is happening to me? Am I going to die hungry? A person came in a cart and delivered such a lot of ghee. She used a lot of ghee also. She used to say that rice and chapati should not be taken without ghee. Other day I was telling you, I got it from her. That is their traditional pravada. And her chapati will be soaked in ghee, generally in the ashram also. So they bought, I think Bhagavan knew that she It takes a lot of ghee. So, one tin of ghee, some atta, some dal, etc. Everything came. They put it down on her, that small cottage, Rishikesh. The cottage means cave with a small outlet there. Kept it there and went away. So, like that, it happens. Those who are surrendered, from somewhere it comes. You know that the story of making that temple and finally was arrested and kept in. It's a real story. Some other day I will tell. राम लक्ष्मण आ गए हैं और राम लक्ष्मण का टेम्पल बनाए थे. He was a keeper of treasury or something. So actually he swindled money. Swindled money means he took the money to make the temple. Then he was caught and put in the prison. So he was constantly saying that, what is this, Rama? I made a temple for you and for that this is the punishment I got. But nothing happened. So one day he managed to get some poison. In the prison they will not get generally. He managed to get the poison and about to drink, but the poison fell. He could not drink the poison also. That day he got very desperate that, what is this? I am in prison and I wanted to end my life. I got some poison and that also you will not allow me to drink? What is this punishment you are giving? That day, after some time, the Prahari came, the prisoner, what do you call it? Chaukidar of the prison, came and opened the gate and said that the jailer is calling you. He went to the jailer, said, you are released. And why? No, two persons came, their name is Rama and Lakshmana. Their names are Rama and Lakshmana, and they gave exactly that many golden coins for which he was imprisoned. That whatever he had stolen, that much of gold coins they offered and told them that he should be released, that money, whatever is due, they had given. It's recorded in the British also because it's not very old. So like this it happens. That is Yogakshemam Vahamyam. Here it is in the same word, but in the negative sense it is used. That they are given to possessiveness so much that always their mind is on possessiveness, to keep whatever. They will not leave anything from their property and they will collect more and more, go on increasing their possession. So because of that they will always take to the Preyas, not to the Shreyas. Then the next shloka, I will not go into the detail. The next shloka says that, O Nachiketa, you must be a seeker of Shreyas. As Arjuna said that I am a seeker of Shreyas, that Arjuna himself said. Here Yamaraja is giving Nachiketa the certificate that you must be a seeker of Shreyas. Why I am saying like that? Because you have renounced whatever I had given, which is absolutely impossible for the earthly denizens to have. Such things also you have renounced without any vichalana, without any swerving. Unswervingly you have denounced everything. Not only that, naitam shrinkam vittamaim avapto yasyam majyanti bhavo manushya. I had given you a powerful, costly garland which people, yasyam majjanti bhavo manushya. If people get it, they are immersed in that desire. If such a powerful thing they get, that also you refuse to accept, you have given me back. So definitely you are a seeker of Shreyas. That means you are fit for the answer to what you have asked for. Then after that, a few shlokas are there. As I said, the criticism of those who are, you can say rationalist as well as the ritualist also. Those who denounce that there is nothing like Atma or knowledge or anything. They are scholarly people, they think that they know everything. So such shlokas are more there in the Mundaka Upanishad. Kathopanishad also has. I will just read it and stop today. It is fifth shloka. I open in the same chapter, fifth shloka. Avidyayam antare vartamanaha Swayam dhira panditam manyamanaha dandramyamana pariyanti mudhaha. Actually it is mudhaha visarga, but because it is followed by the visarga gets dropped. Because I am stopping, I am saying mudhaha. If I continue, I will say mudha only. That is the way we chant. Andhe naiva niyamana yathandhaha. He says, avidyayam antare vattamanaha. The people who are deeply immersed in ignorance. Antare, that means suppose you are immersed in water, you don't know what is there on the surface. Suppose it is half, you know that there is something, you will try to get out of the water. But if you are completely immersed in that and you don't know the outer sphere, then you will be happy remaining immersed there. That is what they mean. Avidyayam antare vattamana. That means they are deeply in the ignorance, so they don't see that anything outside is there. Cocoon, in the cocoon. Swayam dhiraha panditam manyamanaha. They considered themselves to be the dhiraha and pandita. That is, they considered themselves to be the scholarly and knower. That means it is mostly, it might be aiming the ritualists and all, or rationalists also you can say. So, they will preach, they will lead others, that we have charvakas, it is referring to the charvakas, you can say charvakas are charuvak, that means they will speak very cleverly with lot of argument and all, and they will delude people also. Even in Rama's, when Rama went to the forest, all the people who went to advise him to come back, of them one was a charvaka also. Our country was very balanced in that. The charvakas used to be given a seat. Suppose there is argument going on Vedanta or anything, scholarly argument, there will be a special seat for the charvaka, because he will put all the opposing arguments. It is always good. Somebody should be there to oppose always everything. In your MC also such a person should be there. You should not mind it at all. The who will oppose everything, so that the real thing will come out of it. So, that rinam krutva ghritam pivet javad jivet sukham jivet. This is a Charvaka statement. Why you worry about Atma, punarjanma, this life, that life, dharma, etc. No dharma is there, nothing is there. The whole world is just a material world. Take money from others, buy as much as ghee you want and eat and live. As long as you live, live happily. That is their happiness. So, it is about them as well as about the ritualist who says that there is nothing beyond, there is nothing called jnana or atma or anything, it is all eulogy. Everything is, you have the rituals, you do the rituals and reserve your heaven and live a happy life like that. So he says, avidyayam antare vattamanaha swayam dhiraha panditam manyamanaha. They consider themselves to be the pandita, scholar as well as the knowers. But you can know them from their interactions. How? Dandramyamanaha pariyanti mudhaha. Their motion is dandramyamanaha. Those who have studied Brownian motion in physics, do you know? It's absolute random motion. So, किसी से मिलना है, फट से दौड़ के वहाँ चले गए, फोन नहीं किया कि है कि नहीं देख के, फिर वहाँ नहीं मिला तो दौड़ के इधर भाग के आए, तब तक वो यहाँ आके फिर वापस चले गए. Everything they will do for one single work. They will put so much of effort, all useless effort, running always. Eating also in that manner, so that all kinds of problems will come to the body, and will take medicines also in that manner. And the more medicine will cause more problems. So it is dandramya means randomly. Their motion will be random motion, not guided by anything. Not only random, he says pariyanti mudhaha. They are the fools, mudhaha. Pariyanti means going round and round. The other day I said it is a cyclical motion normally we are undergoing. There is no progression. Now here it is a random motion going in cycle. That is the picture they are giving. That running around, but there is no progress. Every day is the same day. Yesterday also we run around, today also we run around, next day also we will be running around, but in life there is no evolution, no progress, no improvement, no transformation. Because they are avidyayam antare vattamana. They are immersed, they don't know that there is such a life. Andhenaiva niyamana yathandhaha. They not only are like blind people who are not seeing the real ultimate goal or real fulfillment, they lead others also. It is like a band of blind people led by one blind person. See how they criticize. Because they will be preaching, they will be gathering people to follow what they are practicing. So with all of them they will go into the ditch like the blind people. Upanishad doesn't stop there. They continue further criticism of this kind. This is also there in the Upanishad in a little different form. So we will stop now. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. That's it. Jai Guru.